Hi, my name is Francisco Arriaga. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Soil Science and integrated state specialist with the Division of Extension at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And here we are at one of our research sites where we've been studying different management systems, in this case, tillage for corn. Corn is actually a very important crop in the US. We're the #1 producer of corn in Wisconsin. It's a very important crop as well. We grow corn for grain, like many other states do, but we also grow corn for silage for our dairy systems. So one of the important management aspects of corn, it's tillage. And so we have been conducting research on this for a while. Right now we're standing in front of a study that we have been ongoing for the past 7 years. And here we're looking at different tillage systems and overlaying different nitrogen rates to see if there are any differences in nitrogen rates and the behavior in the response of the corn, as well as the soil. So what we have and where we're standing right now, it's in front of a conventional, what we're calling a conventional system, which is a fold chiseling followed by a disking. We also have a no-till system. As a matter of fact, we have two. One of them, we are actually removing the corn residue after grain harvest to kind of look at the interaction of soil temperature and the residue on the surface. And last but not least, we also are looking at strip tillage as a sort of a in-between system. And so what we found is that by reducing tillage, our yields are actually just as good as the conventional system. Nitrogen rates are very similar. And we have found that there's the advantage of the reduced tillage and the no-till in that we have less labor input and we have benefits to soil health in general. For example, aggregation is better in those systems. We have seen a little increase in organic matter. And this is very beneficial in other landscapes. We have the same study the same way at another station in Lancaster, which is the driftless region. And those soils are actually more prone to erosion. And there we have found a very, very significant difference as far as erosion. Those plots are actually on about 10% slope. And so the erosion there potential is really high, and we have found that the reduced tillage actually really help in those systems. So I mentioned soil health as one of the advantages of reduced tillage and no-till. But another advantage is that when you do reduced tillage and improve that soil health, you're actually preparing for those extreme years where we have extreme weather events. So as you can see here, this is a conventional system. There's very little residue on the soil surface. So this year, for example, in 2023, we are still under a drought. That soil is actually more prone for evaporation and for the soil drying. And so we'll hold less water for one thing, because it also has less water retention capacity, but then the soil doesn't have that mulch from the residue that protects the soil from evaporation. If we come over here and look at a no-till system, we see the amount of residue, and that residue is basically armor for your soil. It's protecting the soil from evaporation, also protecting from obviously erosion and all those other things. In long term, you know, the health of the soil is going to be better, so it's going to have better infiltration capacity and better water retention. And so this preparing ahead of time for these extreme weather events will prepare you and have a better condition that your crops can withstand during those extreme years. Not only for corn from grain, but these systems are really good for corn silage as well. Like I mentioned, we're the dairy state, and corn silage is a very important part of the dairy systems. But when we get to systems where we have manure, things get a little tricky when we bring in and try to keep an eye on water quality as well. And that's something for a future video. If you'd like more information, please contact the Division of Extension or myself.